BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band? Is BoogeyMan band?
Greetings, my fellow fiends. Thanks so much for stopping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Today's video is the spooky screenings for the sixth film in the Final Destination franchise, that being Final Destination Bloodlines. Plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. The movie stars Caitlin Santa-Wana as Stephanie Reyes, Tio Briones as Charlie Reyes, Raya Kilset as Darlene Campbell, Richard Harmon as Eric, Owen Patrick Joyner as Bobby, Anna Lore as Julia, Alex Zahara as Uncle Howard, and Tony Todd as William Bloodworth. There are several writers associated with the story, that being John Watts, Guy Busick, and Laurie Evans Taylor. The screenplay was done by Guy Busick and Laurie Evans Taylor, and the movie was directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein. Before the release of Final Destination 5 in 2011, series actor Tony Todd said that if the film were to be successful, two sequels would be filmed back-to-back. In January of 2019, New Line Cinema announced a new installment was in development. Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan wrote the initial script, described as a reimagining of the franchise. In March of 2020, series producer Craig Perry said the film would be set in the world of first responders and feature EMTs, firefighters, and police officers. When asked if it was the same canon as the previous installments, he said reboot is probably too strong of a word. It makes it sound like they're going to change everything, but it's definitely a Final Destination movie. In October of 2021, Laurie Evans Taylor was reported to be the new writer for the film. In January of 2022, HBO Max announced it would distribute the film. John Watts joined the production as a producer, and Taylor was confirmed to have written the screenplay alongside Guy Busick. That July, original Final Destination writer Jeffrey Reddick revealed the film would differ from the franchise's formula. In September that year, Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein were selected from over 200 candidates to direct the film. During a meeting with executives and producers from New Line to make their pitch, Lipovsky and Stein staged a freak accident like one of the ones in the films at the end of the call. Insiders said the joke, which featured a combination of pre-recorded footage and visual effects and demonstrated the filmmaker's passion for the film, got them hired. In September of 2023, Todd officially signed on to reprise his role as William Bloodworth. The film explores the character's backstory. Despite Todd's death in November of 2024, Warner Brothers confirmed that he had shot all of his scenes for the film. In March of 2024, it was announced that the film would be released in theaters by Warner Brothers Pictures in 2025. Principal photography was scheduled to take place in Vancouver, British Columbia from July to October 2023, but in mid-July, production was delayed due to the SAG-AFTRA strike. Filming instead took place in Vancouver from March 4th to May 13, 2024. Final Destination 5 came out in 2011, and it was a blast. I think that's one of the strongest films in the franchise. It does take the story full circle. I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it. If they were going to cap off the franchise with that last film, I thought that would have been fine. But I was very excited to hear that they were making another one. The rumors were going around for a number of years. When I found out that Tony Todd was going to come back as Bloodworth, I thought that was just absolutely fantastic. Tony Todd was always one of my heroes. I've loved the guy. I'm actually sporting a Candyman shirt today. Tony Todd passed away last November. He passed away on November 6th, but I didn't find out, I believe, until November the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. It was at the end of the week. Just, again, it was just like such a huge loss for me. And I remember I was with my mom that weekend. My mom hadn't been feeling too good, and I went to the grocery store with her. And we were at a Sprouts, which is a grocery store chain around where I live. And I had my jacket, which had a Candyman pin that has a mirror in it. It has a mirror in the mouth, and that was from Horror Gods. And the shirt I was wearing was from the new Candyman film. And the checker, probably, I'm going to say maybe in his early 20s, if that. And he spotted my shirt, I think he spotted the shirt and the pin and said, "Oh man, it isn't sad that Tony Todd died." And I was just shocked at this kid knowing who he was. And I remember telling him, I said, well, I said it broke my heart. And I talked about, just being a huge Candyman fan and also loving the Final Destination films, and letting him know that Tony Todd had shot his role as Bloodworth in that new film that was coming out. It was like his last movie that he shot, and he was so excited that there was going to be another Final Destination film. It just shocked me that this young kid would know about this film and about the actor. I love Tony Todd. I'm saddened that he's gone. He was such an important part of my life. He scared the shit out of me when I was 19 years old almost. I think I was 19, just about to turn 19 when I rented Candyman for the first time, and it terrified me so much so that I couldn't watch it again for another year, and I took the movie back to the video store after I rented it. But yeah, I loved him. So my wife and I saw the film on the 15th, Thursday the 15th. We went to one of the early showings. I had so much fun watching this in XD, like the biggest screen I could see it on, and I thought there was a lot to love about this film. It was a really original concept for this film, without straying too far from what the Final Destination films have been. But I really like where they went with it. You have the premonition at the beginning of the film, like you do with all the Final Destination films, but this one's set in the past. It's set in 1969, and it deals with Stephanie's grandmother. Her name is Iris, and she's at this debut restaurant called the Skyview Restaurant Tower. And it's just opening up, and it's a huge event. Taking the elevator up to this restaurant, you see like little things that give you hints. You hear little bits of music that give you hints. So when everything starts to happen, I mean, it's just like a domino effect of how this all sort of leads to this very cataclysmic event. And it was amazing how it was staged. I thought they staged it really well. I'm terrified of heights, so like that whole thing really freaked me out. It was really done. They did a lot of it with some CGI, but I thought it was executed really well. It didn't look cartoonish, and I thought it was really kind of interesting to take it in that direction, where your main protagonist, being Stephanie Reyes, is not the one that had the vision. She's having nightmares of the vision her grandmother had before saving people from what could have been. And then, of course, she cheated death. All those people cheated death, and now everything is being passed down to their families, their family members, the Bloodlines, which I thought was really creative. A couple of things I wasn't crazy about. The Stephanie Reyes character is okay. She's not my favorite protagonist from the franchise, but there were other people within the family that I really liked. The character of Eric, played by Richard Harmon, is probably one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise. He was awesome. Loved him. He had a great rapport with Owen Patrick Joyner, who played Bobby. Both of them were probably my favorite. But I think the one thing that disappointed me, besides the main character of Stephanie, was felt like there was going to be more of a lineage between some of the stuff that happened in the other films. That's just all I'm going to say about it without ruining anything. But that was something that I was, because you see like from the trailer that there is this book that has drawings of like the plane, the Flight 180. You see pictures of the log truck from the second film. And I was like, I thought there would be more of like this thread between all of that and the people in this film, or the people that were in the Skyview restaurant. And it didn't. That part I thought was lacking a little bit for me, because that's what I was expecting given the film's title. That being said, I think this film does have some of the most brilliant set pieces in it. There's one at a barbecue that's very tension filled. There's one in a tattoo parlor that's really tension filled, and they do not let up. And there's one moment in this film that I think I can absolutely say it's in my top 3 of favorite deaths in the Final Destination franchise, and that's all I'm going to say. And the other thing about the film that I didn't think worked really well was that I thought that the ending was really rushed. It happens really fast. I was kind of a little disappointed in how quickly it kind of just wrapped itself up. But other than that, I mean, I still had a great time with it. And yes, the scene with the late Mr. Tony Todd did make me well up. It was a very personal scene. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want people to see it. He is very thin. He looks like he was sick when they shot it, but he still commands that voice, his amazing range as an actor. I got really teary-eyed watching that, and I miss him terribly. And I think they did a terrific job paying homage to him and that character. And it was done so Well, it was such a classy way to sort of say goodbye to Mr. Todd and the character of William Bloodworth. And it was just like I said, it was sad, but also it made me happy to see him one last time. To start a new chapter in this franchise and do it with a kick-ass movie like this, I think we're gonna see several more of these films in the coming years, based on just the fact that this is getting huge praise and making a lot of money, and that usually leads to more films in any franchise. So yes, go out and see Final Destination Bloodlines. Make up your own mind about it. I'm grateful that I got to see it. It was very sad to see the final performance of Mr. Tony Todd, but it was done so beautifully, and I think the filmmakers did a great job of reviving this franchise after 14 years. And if you have seen the film, I'm curious what you guys thought about it. Leave me some thoughts down in the comment section below. Would love to hear from everyone. And as always, thanks so much for stopping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always.